What's up, you guys? It's Jen. I'm coming back with another video. Hey, back with another video. Back with okay. But in all seriousness, you guys, if you're new to my channel, basically what I do here is I channel spirit. And I try to relay a message that wasn't really expressed while they were here, in a sense. Especially with murder cases, missing persons cases, and things like that. But if you are new, make sure to click the subscribe button, which is either there or down there, whatever. But to the people that are returning, the real MVP, the real MVP, because y'all been with me for like ever. But no, no, I gotta have some type of humor in this. People dying, X Tenacon. I don't know how to say like his name right, but X just got shot. And, man. But like I was saying, I just caught myself like thinking about X is just messed up my train of thought. But as I was thinking about like who I should do a video on next, because I was considering Trayvon Martin because he would not leave me alone. He was very persistent. But I was thinking about doing Stephen Coleman, and I believe he's in his 30s and his ex-girlfriend killed him, well, mutilated him. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that, and I was like, no, I really don't want to do a case that I did forever ago. So I was thinking about that. I heard do Malcom X. Hey, gotta go with the flow. Gotta go where the boat takes you. But so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know who Malcom X is. Basically, he's a black activist who was at first he was against the white race very heavily. Even now, when I channel him, I hear the white man. But he learned that the white man was the devil from his Muslim, well, from the man who introduced him to Islam. Eventually they had a fallout, and yeah, you really have to look into this yourself, because I didn't redid this intro about 4 times, and I have explained this, and I'm trying to explain it again, but it's not coming out right, okay? So yeah, he also had daughters as well. He was married, and he was born in 1925. He was assassinated in 1965, guys. So I have a lot of things about him that surprisingly, that I got. I don't want to keep saying but it's actually, when I do this, I surprise myself, especially when I go and I look up just to make sure what I saw is right, because everybody doubts themselves. But when I go and I see, like, dang, I'm like this. But let me stop. Let me just read a nice quote, well, a nice message from Malcom X that I got. Well, whatever. I read it online. I thought it was interesting. So it says, the greatest miracle Christianity has achieved in America is that the black man in a white Christian's hands has not grown violent. It is a miracle that 22 million black people have not risen up against their oppressors, in which they would have been justified by all moral criteria. And even by, I wrote this like wrong right here, and even by their democratic tradition. It is a miracle that a nation of black people has so frequently continued to believe in a turn the other cheek, and heaven for you after you die philosophy. It is a miracle that the American black people have remained a peaceful people. And that's all I'm going to read. I mean, there's more, but I'm going to put the link down below so you can read it yourself. But I know it's kind of corny, or maybe I should leave it out. I don't care. But I'm like, I got surprised when I was reading this, because I was thinking something, and it kind of threw me off my train of thought, but it really irritated me. And then I saw, like, it was a vision, and it was like him turning the cheek. And when I read that, I know it sounds weird, but it was a vision of like someone turning their butt. But it's weird how spirit likes to communicate, but whatever. And then when I read turn the other cheek, I'm like, this is how that man really used to talk. Like, it's just things that astound me, especially when I'm channeling. Like, it's mind blowing. But let me just get into everything that I saw because I got a few pages here, okay? My hands cramping. Whew. Okay, so the first thing that I was initially seeing was the fact that I kept seeing him in fights. Um, and then that's when I saw the words younger than. You also have to reverse some of the things that I see, either numbers or words. So them younger. So it made me think of their younger days. That's obvious. But and then when I was thinking like, what do you think about today's society? Because I really didn't know how to address the man. I'm like, okay, like what do I say? But I heard I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm like, okay, that's for me. That was enough. It said it was enough. But and then that's when I saw a girl with two barrettes in her hair. Well, yeah, two barrettes, and it was like two puff twist thingies, and her hair was really thick and pretty. But then that's when I heard that's my daughter, and then that's when I actually saw the word firearm, and I actually saw the vision of like the gun blasting, like the. I know it sounds comical, but like the fire that comes out of the gun. Um, and then when I was thinking about his parents, like what happened to his parents, I heard died when I was young. But actually, this is why I was saying I have to, like, I had to make sure what I was seeing was right. So I didn't go further than this, but I was like, what happened to his family? I never even heard about his family, you know? So basically, his father died. He was murdered, actually. I forget how they said it happened, but he was murdered. And then after his father died in 1937, his mom went insane and she was put into a crazy house. So, well, a mental institution. And I calculated the years and I was like, this had to be, he had to be around 12 years old. But I found out later that it said he was 13. So, then that's when I saw him sitting at a table. This was like a black and gray scene vision. It was like him sitting at a table and he had a pencil in his hand and the book was open. And then I heard my father. And then that's when I also heard his dad used to make him, like I got something on my lip, like a hair. Uh-uh. Yeah. And then that's when I was thinking to myself, he's really smart because I was reading certain things that he would say in his speeches. And then that's when I saw the words read books, him, books, you know. Gotta reverse it. I always have to reverse it. Yeah, my back hurt. And then that's when I kept on seeing like fried foods. And then that's when I heard the music. And then also the dancing. So it made me think of a gathering or just what they do normally. And I saw just now this record player and the words favorite songs and listening. Okay. And then that's when I also saw him at like the head of the table, but like this is Malcolm, and then around him is his family. But he was holding all their hands, and the table was set up, and it was like they were praying. And then that's when I saw the words mislead them. Made me think about how he went about his activism. And then that's when I saw him holding a baby girl, and then that's when I heard my wife got sick. And then that's when I heard the words Negroes and instead of Africa. I don't know what that meant. Negroes instead of Africa. It sounded really botchy. And I keep hearing them. Just now I heard my daughter as well. But and after I heard Negroes instead of Africa, I didn't completely write down that. But this is what I saw in the vision. It was actually gruesome. The man had on a beige blue shirt and regular pants. His shirt was tucked in. But the sad, let me just show you the picture. The words on the side is the things I was hearing as I was writing it down. His arms were tied up and above his head, like you saw, and there was two white men. Well, there was a white man on each side of him, and on this side of him, there was a white man holding a gun. And what I heard along with that is, has a shotgun. And then that's when I heard, it was just a game. We abandoned him. They ran away. Knives. And then that's when I heard a razor. And that's basically everything that I wrote on the side as I was trying to draw it, but I just kept hearing different things. And then that's when I heard that was his t-shirt, because I was writing down blouse. Then that's when I heard that was his t-shirt. It's sad, him being beat like that, and then them standing on the side of him as if he was a prize, or as if it was like they just hunted an animal or something. And I keep seeing a blue abandoned car, like a punch buggy, but it's kind of rusty. And then I also kept seeing someone in a fighting stance position, like this, but he kept on, in his right hand, he kept on flipping a knife around in his hand, like that. But along with that, as I was writing it, well, before I was writing this down, before I even got the chance, I was hearing stuff. And then that's when I heard he had a knife in his hand, and then gunshot wound. And then that's when I heard Assalamu alaikum. For those that don't know what Assalamu alaikum means, it's just a greeting in Islam. Basically, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam, saying hi and, a greeting. And then when I was thinking about the man that was tied up, I saw the words fed alligators. I thought that stuff stopped in slavery. Like feeding black people to alligators. I thought that stopped a long time ago. Who knew that they were still doing it during the early 1900s, 1925 and stuff like that. And then that's when I kept on seeing a lot of books. It was a bookshelf, like a library. That's what it looked like. Just a lot of books. And then that's when I heard he watched the basketball. And then that's when I heard I used to play it. It's so weird. I didn't want to say this, but I'm just laughing, so I might as well. These little shorts and those high socks that they used to wear, it's so weird because he's so tall. That's what I saw though. And then that's when I wrote down, I kept seeing that record player. And I actually saw the words dancing them, but along that I saw him taking his wife's hand and they were dancing with the record player in the background. That sounds fun. But yeah, that's what I saw. They were dancing. Then that's when I saw the words appreciate them and the words thank him. So, yeah. And I do feel like they are together in that life. And his dad, his presence is very heavy. And then that's when I was writing down, I see, and I was cut off by the words that I heard. First I saw the words collapse. Then that's when I heard in the bedroom. And then I heard her stomach. And then that's when I saw a woman lying in the hospital bed. And then that's when I heard the words afterlife when thinking of if they were together. I have to write it down and do it all in order, you guys. Even if I say it ahead of time, I have to do it that way. And then when I was thinking about, like, what about your death? I heard my kids. And I saw the words worried him. And then that's when I heard I was in jail. And I saw the words prison him. And for some reason, for hours, could have been torture or something. What happened for hours? Oh, I saw the words beating him. And then when I was looking at like the picture of his daughters when they grew up, I saw the word, well, I didn't see the words. I heard the words, my girls. Just like that, my girls. And this is the sad part because I want to throw this out there, or maybe I should do it at the end. I don't know. But I'm going to say this right like now. It's a blue orb like right there by my fan. But besides what I saw, it's like as I was seeing this stuff, you guys, and that's the messed up part. I was seeing this stuff, I had to really like afterwards Google it to see if it was right because why didn't they teach us most of the stuff in school? Why didn't I learn some of the stuff here in my history class? You know? Like what? But this is what I saw, and this is what I mean by what I just said. Prime example. And then that's when I saw him falling like forward, like his arms. I don't even want to do it, but his arms were up, and it was like he was just falling, and it made me think he was shot in the back, and then this part of my chest was hurting really, really bad. And you guys know when a certain part of my body is like really hurting, it has to do with something involving them. And then that's when I heard wrist broke. And then my right wrist was hurting. You know? See, stuff that we have to sit down and Google and research and, sad. But then that's when I heard shotgun. And I kept on hearing that. Like, even in the beginning, I said shotgun. But as I was Googling some of this stuff, I ran across a news article. And as I was reading, right after I heard the word shotgun, I was reading. Then I was reading, oh my gosh, more than 12 bullets and 4 pellets into him as he was about to speak. Or went over as he was about to speak. And shotgun was involved in as well. Talking about he was shot with a shotgun or something else. I can't believe I didn't write that down. That was the main point. But the fact that, did I say that? I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But orb over going, he was about to speak. And then something that I wrote down about, where is it? Because I wrote that down as well, like it happened before his speech. And this is what I mean by the stuff that we did not learn in school. Or either I didn't learn it, or I just wasn't paying attention. And no. This is why I should just read my notes instead of just, it's just the passion involved with it, just telling you my visions. But when I was writing down, he shows me him falling. Then that's when I heard during his speech, forward, as if he was shot in the back. And then that's crazy how I see the fact that his wrist broke, his right wrist. That's where the pain was in my right wrist. And then I heard the word shotgun. And then to read the words more than 12 bullets and 4 pellets into him as he was about to speak. Come on now. And then that's when I heard black gunman killed me. And then that's when I heard it was him. And it, what's crazy? It was a black man. Black men, actually. I have that written down here as well because, like I told you, I had to make sure I was on point for everything. It excites me a little bit. It excites me. And then that's when I was writing this down off of one of the news articles that I saw after. I was surprised about the fact that it was black men. I thought white men shot him. I didn't know this. Because the news article said, I don't even know what I wrote up top, but it said, had been charged. The Slim Negro had been charging the black Muslims with plotting to kill him ever since he defected from the group a year ago. I write so sloppy sometimes. But basically, ever since, those black people have been plotting to kill him ever since he left the group a year ago. Remember the Muslim group I was talking about? Yeah. I don't know if it was exactly that, but I have to do more research. And then that's when he showed me his wife, but she had on white gloves on. She had white gloves on, and it was like the silk fabric kind, and I saw the words funeral. And then I kept on seeing butterflies with him, and like butterflies over his casket as well. And I know this is weird because that's why I said, I don't know if it was this video or the last one, but something about being Catholic. And I know this is weird because he was Muslim, but I saw him being baptized. He was in a white robe type of priest type of thing, and he was like in the vision, he was underwater being baptized. And then that's when I saw the words Catholic, and I saw the words young age. And this is what I mean by they don't really tell us all of the history, because who was this white woman that I saw along with him? She could have been light skinned, but I'm pretty sure I saw a white woman with the afro, with the multi-pattern headband scarf around her head. And it made me think that she was an acquaintance, could have been an enemy, but like I said, he went into a new pattern after he started really understanding Martin Luther King's ways, understanding that it's not about violence. And I also saw a vision of him tickling his daughter in her bed, like as if he was saying goodnight or something. And it's weird because I keep on seeing like him sitting on her bed, and it was like a nighttime story or something, because that's what I see him opening up a book, and it's like his daughter is like sitting up in a way, but like on her shoulder, but like sitting on her elbow, and it's like she's looking at him and he's talking to her, and I see the words reopen. And it was weird because I saw like a bowl of oatmeal. Like as I was writing down the paragraph I read to you in the beginning, I had to stop what I was doing. That's why I said it's so botchy. Because I had to stop what I was doing to write this down. I saw like a bowl. I'm not even gonna read it, but I know I'm gonna miss something from what I wrote. I saw like a bowl of oatmeal. It was like kind of like a pottery, homemade type of plate, and it was like I saw a man, like a child, being fed. And I saw the words hunger them in 2017. So is he acknowledging what's happening now within our black race or our black economy? I don't know. But to see the words 2017 or the number 2017, people are actually starving out here. Some of these people don't even have water, honestly. And because I experienced this myself as well, like our water is just bad out here. Like it smells. Like I never knew water was supposed to smell like a strong chemical, but it does. And even at my old house, it was like the smell would burn my eyes because my skin and my body is very sensitive. But I'm just throwing it in there. It's just me acknowledging things that happen in our black community, even in a minority section of the world as well. It's just a lot of things just happen. Like we signed up for it or something. We gave it okay, but guess that's what happens when you sign over. But when you don't, I'm over explaining because I was about to start preaching. But yeah, that's the end of my video. That's really all I got. And I keep seeing the words thank him, thank him. But the fact that a black man shot black men, oh God, that is terrible. That is terrible. That's why I said that. It just brought me back to what I read. The fact that they said that the person he followed that was a Muslim could have had something to do with it. I just remember that for some reason. That's crazy. And then understanding that black violence, like, I'm not trying to go into making it about race, but those videos long. But it's just when I see people rioting with guns, stuff like that, it's like, I'm not trying to sound stereotypical, but it just putting out the wrong message. Like, it's just from seeing X riot and stuff, just seeing how they act, and especially considering all the other riots, I don't think it's a good look. And I think that's what Martin Luther King really meant by showing them who you really are as a human being, not as being depicted as a savage or someone who is a rabid type of human being, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's in my video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm really about to put myself through this. But I mean, if I'm gonna live with the gift, then might as well do something with it, right? Peace. Have a good night, good morning, wherever you are. And stay blessed, because the world's changing, and the world's just changing. We have kids nowadays. Here I go preaching again. Oh my God, my old soul. Okay, I'm done. Have a good night, good morning, wherever you are. Peace.